Hey, beautiful beings. Welcome back to the Faith and Frequency Book Club. Week 2 reminded us that God's presence fills every part of life. It is in the laughter at our tables, the sound of morning traffic, and the quiet moments between thoughts. The author invited us to see the world as a living stage where God's voice is always active and where our listening becomes a way to join in the divine story. Chapter 3: Household. The author described life as the theater of God's glory. Every moment of our lives plays out on a living stage filled with color, movement, and sound. In this theater, God is not a distant observer, but the lead actor who continues to speak and move through everything that happens. We are not just in the audience watching from afar. We are invited to join the story and respond to the divine presence that fills the world. Listening, the author explained, is active. It is quicker than sight because sound demands our attention. God's household is not limited to one space. It includes our work, our communities, our relationships, and everything we call daily life. Spirituality begins with curiosity and a desire to notice what is already happening around us. The author reminded us that we cannot create light, but we can choose to stand in it. In the same way, we cannot make God speak, but we can choose to listen. Listening becomes our way of saying thank you. It is a way of paying attention and honoring what is already unfolding. The author also encouraged us to listen with intention and wisdom. Wisdom grows through reflection, experience, and awareness. Creation, he said, is not something to possess. It is a sacred space where we stand before the living presence of God. Chapter 4: Surrounded by Sound. This chapter explored how to recover our ability to listen in a noisy world. The author reminded us that our ordinary lives can become sacred offerings when we live them with awareness. Everything we do can become an act of listening, from eating breakfast to walking to work. He reflected on how our modern world has made listening harder. We record, broadcast, and rush, often missing the meaning within sound itself. The world's noise can dull our sensitivity. We have learned to prefer what is loud, forgetting that truth often arrives in a whisper. Listening helps us make sense of sound. It turns noise into meaning. The author invited us to be fully present, to honor time as a gift, and to live with attention to the present moment. God continues to speak through the rhythm of our everyday lives, not just in extraordinary events. The author described 3 everyday spaces that shape how we listen. The home represents the personal space of family and daily life. The table is where we connect and share stories with others. The community is where we work for the good of all. Listening in each of these spaces helps us notice how God is moving and how we might respond. He closed with a reminder to receive what we hear, appreciate it, reflect on it, and stay curious. Each of these steps help us listen more deeply and live more intentionally. For a moment of faith, this week practice gratitude through listening. Slow down enough to notice the sacred in your surroundings. Listen for God's movement in everyday life. Let your attention become an offering and your stillness a form of worship. For signs of frequency, turn down the noise for a few minutes each day. Listen to your home, your loved ones, and even your own heartbeat. Pay attention to what brings you peace and what stirs your spirit. Every sound and silence carries meaning when you are willing to hear it. When you shift your thoughts, you shift your frequency. When you shift your frequency, you shift your life. Stay in tune, stay aligned, keep showing up inside out, and most of all, keep reading with faith and frequency.